The Free State now. We crossed our reporter Aldrin St-Pierre. He's in Sasolburg. And Aldrin, certainly a busy day in the Free State. You've also got some reaction for us to that ruling from the High Court. Good afternoon.
Well, yes, good afternoon. I'm joined now by the spokesperson of the ANC and the Free State, Thabo Meeko. Just a quick reaction to this court ruling. It has just come out. I don't know if the ANC had enough time to look through this judgment, but what's the ANC's response to it?
Aldrin, we have received the judgment and maybe appreciate the immediate implications to the ANC in the province in terms of our program. You do know that yesterday we had a PGC as part of the roadmap towards the National Conference. On Friday, the provincial conference of the ANC was starting. It was going to be 3 days. In itself, it is a product of a court outcome. But we're busy now interrogating the judgment. We want to go deeper to fully understand and appreciate what is it that it says to us. And I'm sure before the end of today, we will be in a better position to communicate the position of the ANC in the province with regard to the issue of the judgment, because indeed it has got an implications to our program. On Friday, the provincial conference of the ANC, the national conference is looming very close. And of course, the provincial congress was part and parcel of the preparations of a national conference. So I'm sure as soon as before the end of today, we shall have been able to subject it to a proper guidance.
But the immediate implication indeed is that the court is saying that the provincial conference can't go ahead.
Well, that's the essence of what we have been told up until now. A variety of interpretations, but ultimately I'm sure the legal team of the ANC will have to come on board. We are trying to give them time to understand it better and further, and I'm sure, but the ANC in the province respects the spirit of the judgment. We accept it fully without any doubt, and that's why we're saying after a proper briefing, we shall then determine the course of action.
I guess probably at this point you wouldn't be able to indicate whether the PEC will be appealing this court ruling.
It will obviously be part of the options available to us. The PEC remains. We have no doubt, including the evidence that we have provided and filed, you know, in terms of our response. We still believe that those meetings were conducted properly. Some of them were subjected to the ANC Little House Dispute Resolution Committee process. And of course, the majority of these branches were indeed ratified, were confirmed that they've been conducted properly. You must remember that this is, I'm sure, the third, if not fourth case against the province. Initially, the content of the case was that question or undermine or question the legitimacy of the PGC. Things moved and changed. Now the content is that interdict the provincial. So it has been a whole lot of many things that change every day. And that's why we need some time to appreciate everything else from the first case up until now and say this is what the court says. And of course, we'll be willing as the ANC to align ourselves in terms of our decision of the way forward in line with all these court judgment throughout.
Just in 2 seconds, are you consulting the national ANC on this issue as well?
No, certainly. ANC is a unitary organization. Even our defense was consolidated on the basis of guidance from Little House. Clearly, even on this matter, even long before we decide on the matching orders, surely Little House will be part of the whole package.
Well, Thabo Meeko, the spokesperson of the ANC in the Free State. But of course, Natasha, as you've indicated, a busy day in terms of politics, particularly here in the Free State. And one of the reasons that has brought us here to this area of Metsimaholo Zamdela is the rerun of the elections that is taking place. And I just quickly want to bring in the SACP. The SACP's Philip Kganyago, who's going to speak to us quickly about the allegations of vote rigging that they have raised. I see that the ANC National has also issued a statement saying that these allegations must be tested. Philip, just quickly, what are these allegations that you are making, and are these allegations of such veracity that you feel on your side that they do amount to vote rigging?
Well, there is information that we've obtained from our party agents in the various VDs, where, for example, there are voters who are coming in their IDs. They are eligible to actually vote. Historically, they've even been voting in those voting stations, but when they are being scanned, they are told that they can't vote in those VDs. They've got to go to other stations. This is a serious concern for us because it means that people who are residing in particular wards are going to be denied an opportunity to vote for councillors in their specific wards. That's one of the major challenges that we're having. There are areas where there are people who register to vote for special votes, but when those addresses are being followed up, none of the people in those addresses knows those people. So these are some of the issues that we're picking up from our party agents that are really worrisome for us. And we think that they need to be treated seriously and be followed up. There are areas where scanners are not working. They are resorting to manual processes, which are really worrying for us.
Do you think that these irregularities are being committed deliberately? In whose favor?
Well, it is for those who are duly authorized to do thorough investigation to verify that. For us as the parties, the SACP, we are heavily worried. We feel that the IEC and those that are responsible have got to get to the bottom of this to understand really what is really going on in relation to this allegations.
Well, thank you so much. There you have it from Philip Kganyago with regards to these allegations. I don't know if the ANC's Thabo Meeko, he just quickly wants to respond to some of these allegations that have been made. I see that the ANC National has issued a statement saying that these allegations must be investigated. Just a quick response.
Earlier on, we were asked whether is it true that the ANC has bussed people from Bloemfontein to come and vote here. And our response was very short. This is ridiculous and reckless. Surely, unless if otherwise, people want to prepare the ground to revolt against the outcomes of the elections. Otherwise, this thing only exists somewhere. Because our belief is that we've got full confidence in the IEC, unless if people they want to cast doubt, but surely the IEC would not allow anybody, for instance, myself coming from Bloemfontein, to vote here.
And at this point, you are happy with the processes?
Well, at this point, everybody else is campaigning. We appreciate as the ANC that there's tolerance against each other, all political organizations, I think about 16 who have registered for the elections. And we think that up to now, there's no violence, there's nothing else that has been reported, things are going smooth.
Well, thank you so much. There you have it from both political parties, the SACP and the ANC. It has never happened in the history of this country and its politics that you've seen that just happen now, where you have the SACP and the ANC questioning the validity of an election process that's currently underway here in Metsimaholo. And we'll continue to give you updates, regular updates with regards to the votes that are taking place and, of course, polling stations closing at 9 p.m. later this evening.
Aldrin, thanks so much. Aldrin St. Pierre keeping an eye on things for us there in the Free State. As he says, a busy day. Of course, we've got that ruling that's just come through that the ANC Free State cannot hold their PEC this weekend, and then, of course, those by-elections in the Metsimaholo municipality. But at the same time,